Hit the field, blast off, watch them all fall. This is AFC North Talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Hey, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North Talk. Let's go. Hey, AFC North Talk.
Welcome to another edition of AFC North Talk. The schedule is about to release. Shout out to everybody joining the live stream. Shout out to people watching that afterwards. I know we didn't do a episode last week. I mean, it was very, very quiet on the whole football front. It was quiet. The only news I knew there was something about 18. I can't remember, but the only news that I'm tracking before this is happening is Hayward. Hayward's about to hold out, which I thought he was about to retire, but he's about to hold out because he's looking for a contract extension.
There was some other news too. You know, Trey Hendrickson. Walk back the comments on.
Oh, that's right.
All of that. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, man. What's up with Cam Hayward?
I mean, that man won his money, man. He the captain for a reason. Captain Cam. He put in his work. He put in his time. I mean, I think he deserves his money. But also, too, man, you got to realize what we got going on right now. I mean, we trying to get a receiver to pretty much complete the roster. I mean, we pretty much got everything else but a solid number 2 receiver. I mean, we're sufficient. I'm not going to say we complete on all fronts, but we're sufficient for what we had. But except for that number 2.
Do you think it's a legit holdout, or do you think it's like I'm a veteran? I'm just not coming to camp right now.
Cam ain't playing no games. Cam ain't coming. First off, he older anyway, so he really don't need to be there. And I think realistically, it may be just like a publicity stunt, because we all know Tomlin likes to give his veterans the time off. I mean, he's getting older. I think last year he was coming off a groin injury, so it may be just giving him a little bit of extra time to kind of fall back until we get in the real swing of things. But that's what I'm pretty much chalking it up to. I think obviously he wants his money, but I think when it comes down to it, I think he knows the situation and he's not going to try to break the bank, while we're trying to find, other resources.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. In the case of the Steelers, I know they're against the cap. But yeah, I mean, you have to be careful, right? Like I think we all have gone through something like this, that we have a older veteran, right, that is paid well, but obviously hasn't been paid as much as all these young guys, especially if you think about the D-tackle. D-tackle market has exploded in the last 3 years. Like, we understood it was Aaron Donald up there, and then there was a gap. No, man. Think about Marabike, Chris, obviously Jones is the top alpha there. But Wilkins, right? The guy from the Jets, Williams. Like, the D-tackle market, a lot of guys have got paid, and Cam is probably looking like that, like, man, I have never made, not even close to that. Let me see if I can get up on my salary a little bit, as he's probably winding into his maybe last 2 years of his career. I'm not saying that he cannot be effective, but definitely as he's toying down on his career, he's trying to get some of that money back.
Yeah, and let's even kind of break that down a little bit, because I mean, other teams put their money into players that are going to be the cornerstone of their team for a specific amount of time. Cam has already put that time in, so it's kind of unreasonable to think that you would get that type of Metabike money, or what I'm saying? Like, I get that you want that type of money, but your ship kind of sailed on that, bro. I think he's running up on his 13th year, 14th year.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that type of money, and you've already been in the last few years have kind of been injury stricken, the way though you missed some time. So I get that you want that type of money, and if that's his plight, I get that you want that type of money, but that's not gonna happen. I think TJ Watt was the only person they even extended certain amount of money to that was, like I said, worth that talent or had that talent. But TJ is also in his 8th year, 9th year.
Yeah, he's young. So, he's young.
Yeah, so I mean, he got it while he was young, but Pittsburgh probably felt like they could probably build around him more at that time, and it was opportunistic for them to do that because maybe they didn't have the money in other places. But I
Man,
can't I
I'm
don't think that
looking
he's
at
gonna
it.
get that type of money.
So I'm looking at it right now, right? Chris Jones is at the
Wings here,
top,
first pitch, it's on.
31.7 million. And then you've got Cam Hayward is pretty far down the list. Like he's at 16.4 million according to Over the Cap. That's pretty far down, bro. Like I'm not saying he deserves to get the 30 million, but that's about half of what the top guys are getting paid right now.
Yeah, and I think it's legit. He's looking at it right now and say like, I was never able to make this type of money because the D tackle market used to be money wise a mid market, right? We didn't have D tackles making. It was the comparison with the D tackle was legit like the comparison between an outside linebacker. I'm sorry, the tackles and the guards. That was the gap. And lately, the D tackles are very close to the edge rushers.
He's like the 18th right now. He's like the 18th right now.
Also, like this might just be kind of like an Aaron Donald at the end of his career type thing. Because you ever hear Aaron Donald talk, he's like, I just didn't want to do camp no more. So like I was kind of happy that I got those contract situations to come up. Not to say that the contract situation isn't an actual gripe. I'm pretty sure it is. But I think it's a fortunate coincidence for Cam Hayward where he's like, yeah, you know, if this lingers into OTAs, if this lingers into training camp, I have no problem with it. So I think it's going to play out similar to that where he's going to get maybe some kind of like, incentives ahead of schedule and they'll kind of work that out in like some kind of settlement. And then he'll play once the season starts. But, you know, he how old is Cam Hayward? He what, 37?
He about 30, 34, 35.
Yeah, man, he ain't trying to do no more camps. Like, you know, he done been through all these camps before. And like, ain't like anybody new there's nothing new going on. Like, it's the same people that's been there for like the last 10 years. I just think this is one of those plays where he's like,
I would like to put the videos that the teams are getting out. I'm looking for the graphics because I'm not trying to get copyrighted. If you guys find each team, let me know
the videos that they put out. Those are
okay. Well, I have the Browns video here. If we wanna,
yeah, let's share screen. Let's do it.
Okay, hold on. Let me put this big. Let me just present. So we're gonna start with the Browns video, and I haven't seen it, so we all gonna react here at the same time.
No way, that's out of bounds.
Here you go. This is the Browns schedule release video.
That's already starting off funny.
Jaguars, week 2.
Giants, week 3. Las Vegas, week 4. Hey.
Commanders. Philly.
Should be Philly, right?
Yeah.
And the Bengals.
Yeah. Week 8 Ravens. Chargers week 9.
Segura, stop sitting around. Clean up. Lane 10. Now.
Week 10 bye week.
Move on, sunshine.
You play Pittsburgh yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh yeah,
No,
New Orleans, then Pittsburgh.
Well, the Steelers, yeah. Week 12 Steelers.
Oh, this disrespectful, yo. Why they got wipe the balls in them?
The Broncos after that. Week 13 Broncos. 14 the Steelers again. So it's almost back-to-back Steelers.
That look like one of y'all quarterbacks.
Disrespectful, yo.
Chiefs 15. Bengals. Yeah, Miami 17. Oh, you finished with us?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Grant?
Game time.
That's right, I did it. Who do you think you are? I am.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna try to pull the graph. What do you think of the video, Q?
I mean, look, man, they trying to make this a 3-hour event. Just release the fucking email. Like,
okay, I have the graph.
Just release the email for the schedule, dog.
Here's the graph, in case you didn't follow. Week 1, boys. Week 2, Jaguars away. So the orange are away and the blacks are at home.
I have the national TV games too, so I tell you which games are national.
Yeah, so then we have then you guys go 3 stretch of weeks away. So you go Raiders, Mandos, and Eagles. Not a lot of travel between these two, but away. Then home, Bengals, Ravens, Chargers. Week 10 bye. Then the Saints 11, 12 is a Thursday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
At home against the Steelers. Then Monday night. What would you put Broncos on Monday night? What would they love?
I saw that and I was like, well, that makes no sense, but I guess they did that.
We should have got that guy.
They wanted the Bo Nix one. They won that Bo Nix game.
I guess.
And then
maybe they thought they would trade up for like Drake May or something like that.
Maybe. Then the Steelers again away, so back to back away. Then home to the Chiefs and away to the Bengals
on a Thursday night. So it's a Thursday night game at home for Cincinnati, which is
so you go short week.
Yeah,
you go short week
after Kansas City.
Yep, and then you get Miami on a Sunday night. Football. And then TBD because it's the last week of the year, and then they moved that against the Ravens away. Okay.
I know one of us will be resting our starters.
That's the hope. Okay, let me go find another team. What do you think about your schedule, Q?
I like it. I like that they start out the season relatively light. This team's going to be putting together a new offense. And I wanted to make sure that you went through at least the first 4 weeks without playing a pivotal division game. So that's I think a good new move for the Browns. So you get Dallas, you get Jacksonville, you get New York, you get Las Vegas, Washington, and Philly. 4 of those are NFC games. 2 of them are out of division conference games. One of them you feel like might matter when it comes to the tiebreaker. So out of those games, 1 game matters as a tiebreaker. You got a lot of time to get your offense figured out. You get out that stretch 3-3. I think you're sitting pretty good, and I think there's a chance that you can get out that stretch much better than 3-3. You just want this team by the time week 7 comes around to figure themselves out offensively, right? By that time, Deshaun Watson should have 6 straight weeks in his offense.
Yep.
He should be ready to play at full level, full go, and be able to go blow for blow with some of these guys if he is who we're paying for. The defense should be running pretty smooth at that point. So you do go into a really tough stretch here with Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore. And then we'll see what the Chargers are, but there's a chance that the Chargers might be decent before the bye. And, you end the season out with the tough run here where you go Kansas City. Well, I'll include Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh always gives you a tough fight, especially in Pittsburgh, which we haven't won in a while. So at Pittsburgh, then it's Kansas City. Then you play Cincinnati on a short week. You get a couple extra days to prepare for the Miami Dolphins. So a mini bye right there, I think, is actually pretty good. And then you play Baltimore, and then we know with week 18 games, who knows what's actually going on by the time we get to week 18. But yeah, it's a tough stretch there. But I think there is a chance for the Browns to really build up some momentum and get their season going off right. Like, I didn't want this season to start off with a murderer's row where you're like playing Dallas, Kansas City, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and then you play Pittsburgh like twice in the first 6 weeks or some weird shit like that. Like, that would have bugged me because I'm like, hey, this team might take a little while to really get going, and you don't want to dig yourself a hole, similar to what happened with the Bengals early in the season last year where they just could not get going fast. And then by the time you blink, they like already lost 3 division games. So, you know, I think avoiding that is really good. We'll see if they can stay healthy, if the Browns can stay healthy. You know, I'm not one to really fret over the schedule. It's the AFC North. It's going to be a tough schedule. If you want to go win 12, 11 to 13 games in the NFL in this division, it's going to be tough as hell. Like, straight up. So, no matter what place you finished in last year. So it's going to be a tough schedule for sure. But I think it's a schedule that they can handle. And really, you know, we know the one quarterback we all got to play him that has that fear factor, I guess, over teams is Pat, right? Like, Pat's the guy that like you worry about if you can beat, or you worry about if you got to play well. Like, you get all extra buttoned up the week you play Pat. But other than that, I mean, everybody else got to play him too. So
yeah. I would say this also. The only comment, and I have the Bengals video queue up here. You know, sometimes we get to the stretches that are away at home, and that beginning stretch that you go away, at least is against teams that last year and on paper, other than the Eagles, the Commanders are going to be trying to figure out themselves. The Raiders are going to try to figure out themselves. So if you have to go a 3-game road trip, that's not the worst, especially when that 3-game road trip is in the East Coast mostly. Yeah,
it's also weird because it's like the negative version of the AFC North. So it's like, oh, you're going to Pennsylvania, but you're playing the Eagles. You're going to DC, Baltimore area, but you're playing the Commanders. So it's not travel that they're not used to, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's relatively easy. The Las Vegas game, it's Las Vegas. It's the Raiders. Weird shit happens when we play the Raiders. So I'm already expecting them.
Any last comment, Jay Raggies?
No, I think, go ahead, J-Rock.
All right. Well, I think they should have a decent time. I mean, considering because I peeked at our schedule, Pittsburgh as well, and considering our schedule, I think this is pretty much as similar as far as them having some lighter teams in the beginning to maybe kind of be able to grab those early wins that they should get based off of the pedigree that they have. I definitely think that's going to be a little bit tougher. Some teams have gotten a little bit better. I think, the Jaguars haven't been that good in the past couple years, but they always present. I know Pittsburgh in particular. I'll just speak for Pittsburgh. The Jaguars have presented, us with some issues. You can't sleep on certain teams. Like, we don't know what the charge is going to be like you said. I think Vegas got a couple of different weapons and stuff like that. So, I mean, certain teams are going to be a little bit better, but I think that they, like I said, when it comes to their hard part is going to be similar to ours around week 11, 12, 13, when they start getting into them division games, and then you play the Kansas City and the Eagles and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be tough around them, but I think they should do pretty good this year. I don't know what their record is going to be, but I mean, they should.
We'll talk about that as the offseason goes. Ace.
Yeah, for me, looking at this schedule, I think it's a well-balanced schedule. I think, as you guys have kind of stated, it kind of opens up with them like having some winnable games, like you guys kind of talked about. Like, it's not a super hard start. Like obviously you got the Cowboys there and you got the Jaguars, which I think that the Browns are talented enough and they have more talent than them as it currently stands. It is a game that could go either way because it's on the road, but I don't look at that as a Browns fan and say like I'm worried about the Jags. You get the Giants, they're still, Daniel Jones is still there. The Raiders, you get the Commanders. So you got some pretty winnable games, I think, to get out of the gates, especially in this division, which is always important to get those wins and to stack them. I like that the first part of the month, they don't have to play any AFC North teams. But I do see that they have 3 straight road games from week 4 all the way to week 6. Then they come back, play the Bengals and Ravens and Chargers. So that's a pretty tough stretch there. Then they get a bye week. And then they get some games that I feel like look pretty winnable to them. Against the Saints, and then you get another divisional game against the Steelers and then Broncos. And then you get some of the tougher games. You go back to the Steelers. You got the Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins. Who knows what they look like by that point because the Dolphins always seem like they should be a good team, but they never kind of really live up to the hype. So who's to know how that's gonna pan out? And then you got the Ravens at the end of the season. So I think if they can get out to a quick start early on, I think that they'll be in good shape around, towards the middle and the end of the season. So I think it's a solid kind of setup for them. Whereas I think last year it was like a tough sled to open, even though they did well. But I think it's kind of the opposite this year. I think it's a little easier for them as a season kind of starts. So I think it's a solid schedule.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's important to note with this team is the first 5 to 6 weeks, and on top of it not being division games, those are all games you feel good about a defense being able to carry you to victory, right? If need be, right? The Dallas Cowboys do have an explosive offense. I think that's one of the games that you'd be like, oh, I don't know if the defense can just carry you straight to victory in that one. But Jacksonville, we saw that last year with the Browns being able to do that against Jacksonville, who are actually a worse home team than they are a road team. Well, at least last year they flipped back and forth being good at home and not. The Giants obviously feel like a good defensive performance can carry you to victory in that one. The Raiders, same thing there. Washington, same thing there. And then you get to Philadelphia, and I think that's going to be the first, when you play Philly, when you play Dallas, that's where you're going to want to take the barometer of where the offense is because you're going to need some offensive input to be able to win those games. Mm-hmm. And, if you are going to have any kind of moving around at quarterback when it comes to like Deshaun Watson's health, you would hope that it happens at the beginning of the season versus, a stretch where you play Philly, Baltimore, and then like the Chargers. Like those are 3 hard games to win if you can't score the ball. But I think that's also very fortunate for this team too, is that they're in the position for their defense to be able to dominate early in the season, and that allows the offense to catch up later in the season. Also, I think catching Kansas City in the last quarter of the season is kind of when you always want to run into them if you're playing against them, because who knows what they look like, who knows what they're battling through at that point.
Week 1.
Yeah. Week 1, week 2, Kansas City, I don't know. Kansas City is a weird team because you know what they're going to be by the end of the year. It's just sometimes they take the scenic route to get there. Like sometimes it starts at the beginning, sometimes the shit starts at the end. Like they always try their hardest to make us believe they won't get back to the conference championship game or something like that. But
I agree.
It never ends up happening.
And then Q, you better hope they don't put no bad juju on your team, man, because your boy Deshaun Watson want to get tatted up and putting blank rings on his back. I don't know what's up with that one, but
I have no idea what that man does with his body.
but yeah, I don't care either. But I mean,
just go put it out.
We know about things like the man curse and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't.
I have no interest in knowing what that man has tattooed on him. I don't know what he's doing, why he's doing it, and I'm never going to ask him.
The only person that worked for was Jason Terry back when.
Well, he put championship rings on him. Is that what he did, or is that what people saying he did? Because what the
I haven't seen
people just interpret it the worst way possible.
He put his championship. I think he won in high school. I think he won in college, and he put a blank ring on it with a helmet that looked like a Browns logo, but they didn't put no date on it. You know, they say Super Bowl champ, XB, whatever the case may be. He didn't put his blank
I'm
on that.
glad he feels that confident in himself. You know, if he didn't feel like he could win a championship, then what the fuck are we paying him $230 million?
Fair enough, right? Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough. Okay, let's see the Bengals here.
Gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 season. Thank you all for joining us. It's going to be a heck of a year. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rough. And it's going to be the hardest 7 months of your life. We're on a journey now, fellas, and we need our very best. All right, let's play some mascot football.
And pause the video.
Yeah.
Y'all know y'all rival not Kansas City, right? Like y'all know y'all rivals are in the AFC North, right? Like, let it play. Let it play.
Trying to be crunk.
New England. Week 1.
Are they putting scores?
Yeah.
Are they insane?
17-7, week 2.
Is that
wow.
a movie beat
What's
down?
poppin', Kermit?
Week 2, 17-7, the Chiefs.
Wait, are they gonna?
Wow.
You talk about jinxing?
That,
Nah.
I mean, yeah.
They better be modest with these scores.
Okay.
Wow.
So let's keep going. 17-0, Washington against Amanda.
Ooh, they get close.
No,
Okay, they let
17-6,
Washington score 6. That's on Monday Night Football.
24-3.
That's on Monday Night Football. We gotta watch that.
Amanda's-
Did they learn nothing from last year? ESPN. Why are they picking the worst games, dog? Like, are they the lowest?
They
on
want to
the
have
totem pole
Burrow.
now?
They wanna have, yeah, I think they are. The lowest. on
They're
the
lower
totem.
than Thursday Night Football?
I think so.
Because that's insane. Who picks that game? Who looks around and is like, yeah, you know what I want to see? Jaden Daniels, whatever his name is, versus Joe Burrow?
It's that New York, man. You know New York gonna put on for New York, man. You already know.
The Commanders?
The Mandos.
The
That's crazy.
Commanders.
Don't nobody need to see them outside of the required Thursday night game.
The Commanders.
I'm just wondering, like, is the Monday Night Football now like the Thursday Night Football, where like if your one required national TV game is now Monday Night
It
Football?
has felt like that for a minute.
LSU MVP. That's what they're gonna be talking about. Or two
Oh,
LSU,
yeah.
Jaden Daniels is not
Heisman.
LSU. He's not LSU. He went there 1 year.
Look, you see the score, Q? You see that score?
Get it.
Now that's a booty beat down.
BB.
Okay.
Look at that score against Baltimore.
Oh, this is just rude, Sonny. What are they referencing here, Sonny? What are they referencing? What's this a reference of? What's this?
What
Are
was
they?
that?
Are they? Is
Hold
this
on, go back. I couldn't
this
see
familiar? Is this real? Did this happen? Hey, J Rock, did something like this ever happen in a game?
I can't recall, but I mean, like I said, you talk about bad juju.
Nah, I mean, like I
don't do no score
recall,
prediction.
like on was it Sunday Night Football, 8:00 for like 45 million people according to Nielsen records. This happened.
Anyway, that is BBB.
Who's Mark Andrews? Where's Mark Andrews? Yeah, getting close. Ooh,
Against the Giants. Woo, look at this scores.
Hey, Ace.
What's up?
Look at the Cleveland.
Really?
Wow,
Really?
negative.
Y'all haven't won here in how many years? And y'all doing this? Y'all doing this? Really?
Hey, yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah,
This is wild. This is Drake Taylor made level wild. Like y'all really asking for this? Really? Y'all think y'all gonna beat us by 110 points? That's a booty beat down.
That's
okay. Get it to him,
Look at Philly.
Wow.
Hey, I'm just gonna say y'all better win a lot of games, or else this is gonna get used against y'all.
Right.
This is nothing.
Vegas.
46-3 against the
40,
Raiders.
63.
Against the Chargers.
63, nothing.
Hey
Oh,
man.
there you go. 6.
Okay, Jim Harbaugh.
Snap.
Big toe bye. Another late bye. Ooh, another big booty
He
beat
just
down.
smack a kid in the face.
Yeah.
This is a strategy.
Cowboys.
Yeah, and then Tennessee. Cowboys and then Tennessee.
Ain't nobody worried about Tennessee.
Denver. It's kind of light at the end for you guys.
Oh, because
Yeah,
Denver
they
got
did have 70
Let
drops on them
Broncos.
for real. They had 70 drops on them for real.
Okay, so let me find the art. Oops.
Hey man,
That's the art.
That was
they
wild.
better hope they're good this
So
shit.
beautiful.
Like,
Yeah. I thought the video was cute, but the score, like
the
you said,
scores, I don't know. That makes me. I'm glad the Browns didn't go that route because I know.
I haven't seen none of these
every
videos.
time one of them predictions. They're
This
gonna
is
be
what you
posting that
call
man.
Good old basement schedule, and I love it.
Look at this. They go home away. Basically, no. There's a stretch there, or 2 homes and 2 away.
There's like a couple of stretches where we're like back to back on the road. I think it's 3 right there in the middle. So those
Those
three
are
ones
2 away,
back-to-back
away,
away
2 at
games.
home. Yeah. You get the Monday night against the Mandos, Sunday night against the Giants,
Oh yeah.
Thursday night football against the Ravens, Monday night. Basically, any game minus the Eagles against the AFC, NFC North is prime time, and then
Prime
Thursday
time
night
game.
football against the.
We got 5 of them. Now I think
Yeah.
it's 2 other games or 2 or 3 other games where we play in that 4 o'clock window where it's like the majority game or something like that.
So, what do you think about the schedule, Ace? While I look.
I
For
mean,
the
I like the schedule. I think the way that it opens up, I know like there were some fake leaks out there. A lot of people thought that the bye week was going to come week 5. It ends up being officially week 12. I think that's great because, anytime that you can have a bye week, you want it to be later in the season because, of course, you got injuries and stuff there. Starting it off with the Patriots, kind of a tricky game. Like, I'm not scared of the Patriots, but it's Gerard Mayo. It's a new system. Like, what are we going to expect from the Patriots with this being without Bill Belichick, right? But I think it's a good warm-up game. And then week 2, I'm loving this because I've hated the fact that we've had to play the Chiefs at the end of the season every year. And it's like, bro, I don't know what this team is going to be looking like at week 17. And we saw that last year. We had Jake Browning against them at week 17. It was meaningless. So for us to be able to catch them early, it's on the road in Kansas City. I'm glad that we're getting that out of the way early and often. And I'm glad that they have to come off of that game playing the Ravens and then they have to come and play us. So I'm good with that. We're not scared of Pat at all. We don't have any fear of Pat Mahomes whatsoever. We want smoke with Pat. We're not ducking that at all. So Pat, I can't wait to see you.
I mean, you're not afraid of no one. Look at all those big booty
We're
beatdowns.
not scared of the Chiefs, bro. We 3-1 against them. The last time they beat us in the playoffs, we need that smoke back. Joe wasn't there for the last rematch. We need our get back with them. I mean, they the champs right now, so I'm gonna give it up to them and give them their props. But I definitely want that smoke with them week 2. Then you got the Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels makes them a better team, but they're still rebuilding. So like I don't view that as a game that's super tough there. You got the Panthers. I still can't take them serious. I didn't get to see much of Bryce Young last year, but from everyone that talked about Bryce Young, they didn't have good things to say about him. So with the Panthers, I don't know. And then you get 2 serious games like this one against the Ravens. Obviously, that's going to be a good matchup between us two. So that to me is outside of the Chiefs is the first tough matchup or the second tough matchup outside of the Chiefs. And then you got the Giants, which I don't know, dog. Like, I think that they have a great coach. I just don't believe in Daniel Jones whatsoever. So, like, any team that has Daniel Jones at their quarterback, I'm going to think that I have a chance to win that game. Then you go up against the Browns after that. That's going to be a tough game. The Eagles, this is probably like the 4-week stretch where you get like the tougher opponents because you got the Ravens, Browns, and Eagles. So I think that those are pretty tough when you look at that side of it. And then you get after that, you got the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that that's a good game to have right now, being that they have Aiden O'Connell right now as their quarterback. I think that they'll be better, but they're still kind of a team trying to find their way. Then you got the Ravens again on Thursday Night Football, another tough matchup. And I think Herbert versus Burrow, we haven't seen it in a while. We're 0-2 against the Chargers as it stands now. Joe Burrow's first game was against them. We're not going to talk about what the refs did in that game, but I feel like that would have been a storybook ending to that, to our storybook start to that for Joe. But I want to see him versus Herbert because we haven't seen it in a while. It'll be good to see them two versus each other. So looking forward to that. Then you go into the bye week. You come out against the Steelers. I feel like we played the Steelers earlier in recent seasons. Like this is the first time I've seen where we're playing the Steelers a little later in the year, which is a little different. So it'll be interesting to see where they're at in terms of like their quarterback situation. Is it going to be Justin Fields? Is it going to be Russell Wilson? So I like that. That's a good matchup. The Cowboys, that's a good matchup. I think the Titans are much improved. This actually might be the toughest stretch, honestly. Like it might low-key be the toughest stretch of 4 games here with the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Titans, and the Browns. Like those, I don't feel like it's a bad team in that bunch, especially with the Titans doing the makeover. Now that all depends on Will Levis, but from what they've been doing in the offseason, the fact that their coach is familiar with us, I think that game is going to be pretty close. And they beat us last season, so that's another one. And then I feel like the Broncos at the end, I'm glad that we have a game like that towards the end of the season, especially with this division. It's going to be close all the way up until the end. So you kind of need some games that can go in your favor. And I feel like that Broncos game could be a key one. And then you end it with the Steelers, which is a divisional opponent. So if you can get some kind of advantage by getting a divisional win there at the end, I think that that's important. But for me, I mean, this is that basement schedule, dog. The basement has benefits sometimes, when you get to play some of those weaker teams. So I'm loving this schedule, bro.
JRQ, any last thoughts before I go to the Steelers video?
Yeah, I think they got a pretty even schedule. I mean, I think, like you said, it don't really start getting rocky toward the end. In that last stretch, like I said, where you get a couple of division games and the improved Titans and stuff like that, but it's pretty consistent and it's pretty even as far as home and away games. So I think that benefits the Bengals. I think, like I said, you can have a game the way as though you had I don't remember exactly where they play each other, but I know that I think week 3 you play the Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders.
And then you got another tough game after that. So it's almost like you have a tough game and then a weaker game, a tougher game, then a weaker game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about the Panthers being a tough one. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know the Panthers.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying a little bit more consistent.
I got you.
As far as like the strength, but you know what I'm saying. I think that they'll have a good gauge on where they are in the season before they get to their bye week. By the time they get to their bye week, they already know pretty much what the end of their season is going to look like. If they're going to make the playoffs, if they not, because that last stretch is going to pretty much either make or break you. And then I mean, it's either going, either we're going to go or we not. But that first 10 weeks is going to be their barometer of who the Bengals are for that season. So, like I said, with it being consistent like that, I think that they have a good chance on saying that.
For sure. And I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. There's no Bengals fans. There is no excuse for a slow start, given you playing the Patriots.
That's a cupcake start.
And the Panthers, dog. I don't want to hear the slow start excuses. There's no excuses for this.
The Giants.
Q, any final words?
Yeah. So I'm wondering, when Cincinnati goes through this schedule, right? I think week 7 and 8, and then are going to be a couple of you want to see what that secondary is on, right? I think that's going to be a big determiner for what happens with Cincinnati this year. The offensive line, that's going to get tested. I mean, you pick a division game, it's going to get tested at that point, right? But I think if you're Cincinnati, you're looking at this schedule okay, what part of our defense is going to get tested? Because I think that's the big question for them coming into this season is hey, are we going to be able to hold up defensively in the ways that we held up in years where we made conference championship runs? And I think there's a couple of games that will test that. Obviously, Cleveland's going to test your offensive line. Same thing with Pittsburgh. And then you have teams like Philadelphia that are really going to challenge you when it comes to, where are your corners at? Can they hold up to those 2 elite wide receivers that they have if they're healthy? I think Dallas is another one that'll test you as well. Now, Dallas playing them on a Monday night. Is that in Dallas?
I believe so. I think it is in Dallas.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Dallas Cowboys are gonna lose that game because that's exactly the kind of game the Dallas Cowboys lose. But overall, like even like there's not that many games where you're like, oh man, they're gonna be put the part that you project the Bengals to not be strong at, they're gonna be put to the test really in consecutive weeks, right? Like you get Kansas City, and like I don't know if Kansas City stresses your secondary out as much as it's about your offensive line being able to hold up, right? Because Cincinnati, I mean, the Chiefs don't have great wide receivers at this point. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch them this year for sure.
Okay, so here is the Steelers.
Yeah, we can skip this one.
Let's see. Do you already saw it, Q? You saw it?
No, I just don't nobody care about no Steelers.
Debo versus Dad.
Why did the pony ask for a glass of water, Debo? Because it was a little horse. Why so serious?
What do you call a jet that flies backwards? You might get this one. A receding airline.
So by the way, the first week was the Colts, right?
Yeah.
The second week the Jets. So the jokes, just in case the jokes matched the opponent.
Why would I get that? Explain the joke to me.
The hair thing. We'll just go to the next one.
No, we're not done.
What do you call a horse that lives next door? A neighbor. Can y'all give me some better questions? This man is scaring the hell out of me.
What do you call a sick eagle? Philadelphia eagle. Illegal, like illegal. Bruh, he's not laughing.
Because the receding hairline is like, or airline.
But you're saying I would get it because.
Well, I feel like you know a lot of people with hair disabilities.
Oh. Why couldn't anyone see the falcon? I don't know, maybe it was flying too high.
Yeah, it was in disguise. Disguise.
So what you call two birds that stick together? Velcros.
What did the Raiders say when he turned 80?
I don't know what he said.
I'm 80.
That was funny.
What did the Ghost Cowboys wear on their feet?
I don't know this one.
Boots.
That was weak.
That was weak.
That was.
I didn't write it.
You got a great beard.
I think you did a good job of.
Thank you.
Surviving.
What do you call a fear of giants? Phobia.
What kind of music do elves listen to? Rap music. Get it? Because like rapping paper. What do you call a Cincinnati Bengals reflection? A copycat.
What's a Chargers' favorite dessert? Chocolate cake.
These are really eating you up, huh?
I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. I feel like he's about to strangle me right now.
What do you give a sick Kansas City player? A handkerchief.
Nah. If you could put the entire DMV on a scale, what would it weigh? A Washington.
Okay. What part of the body always loses? Defeat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Defeat. Why is your name Debo?
Because I can do this.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Ooh, worst one we seen.
That was the worst one. So
It was all corny, yo.
It was all corny.
They had Russ talk 3 times. Who the fuck wanted to hear that? Like,
And then the
started
last,
off with Russell Wilson, so that just
I knew it was going downhill when I saw Russ with the taper on. I'm like, all right.
Wait, Justin Field wasn't in this video at all, right?
Nah.
They're not trying to taint him. Okay, like they don't ruin Nick Herbig's career.
Okay, so here
to hang it up, man. That was awful.
here's the graph. They go away and away, so back to back. Falcons, Broncos.
hold
And
on.
then-
That's not in this. Or I guess it's not in order. I don't know whether it's
Yeah.
not in order.
Is
They
it?
didn't put the jokes in order.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
weird.
Yeah, which is kind of weird too, right? Like
Yeah, that's
all
crazy.
that video was complete fail all around.
Yeah.
But anyway, they go.
Who's
they
running the
go-
social team, Russ?
Okay, and then they go Chargers. That's the first home game, Chargers, and then the Colts. So the first 4 games they got 3 away.
Ooh, a revenge game for Russell Wilson early in the season.
Early.
2 revenge games. So you get the Arthur Smith revenge game, which I don't know who's going to be getting revenge. I feel like the city of Atlanta wants revenge on him more than he wants it on them. And then the Denver Broncos, again, a question of who's getting revenge.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
and then the next quarter here, you get Cowboys at home, Raiders away, Jets and Giants back-to-back home games, back-to-back.
The first half of the schedule.
Look at this quarter.
Right.
Sunday night, and then Sunday night, and then Monday night.
Yeah, man, the Monday night games look like complete butt cheeks this year. What? We getting the Steelers and the Giants? Who the fuck wants to watch that? Who wants to sit down and watch this on Monday night? 8 weeks into the season, we gonna know Russ stink by then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know they wanted that prime. You know they wanted that prime time game with Russ.
Yeah, Russell will get benched by then. Like, it would have been much more interesting to make that second week of the season game be the Monday night game or something like that, because at least you had the intrigue of the crowd being against Russell Wilson in Denver. There is nothing interesting watching Daniel Jones go at it with Russ.
The Ravens are not the Ravens games are not prime time. The Browns are. Where's the? Oh yeah, Browns has one prime time with them, and the Bengals. Where's the other Bengal game? Oh, here. Yeah, so far we don't know the last week, but also not. But Jets and the Giants are primetime games. Anyway, so bye week 9, then Commanders, Ravens, Thursday night over there
in
Cleveland. Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot. Y'all haven't won in Cleveland in a minute, especially on no Thursday night.
After the Ravens. So then Bengals, then the finishing touch here. Bengals. Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals.
Damn, it start before that. Look at that. Look at that first Ravens.
No. Yeah, you're right. It's like right after the bye, this shit stops getting sweet, like real quick.
4 AFC North games in a row, dog.
Dog, you get the Ravens, Browns in Cleveland on Thursday, which is just bad. And then what?
Bengals.
The Bengals, and then the Browns again, and then the Eagles. And
then
hey, Mike, you might want to win them first 8, brother.
Yeah.
It's 9 out of 8.
I'm not 8 out of 9 when we do the schedule prediction, but boy, in there is crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Y'all definitely about to do Justin for 30. Y'all about to go into that bye week and be like, well, Justin, you get the Commanders game to warm up, and then welcome to hell.
Welcome to death row.
Yeah.
So J-Rock, any words on the schedule? How are you feeling?
Of course, like I said, I peeked at it. I just wanted to get the times to see what was the prime time games, who was home or who was away. I didn't really get to see all that. But definitely it's brutal toward the end. I mean, we got to, like you said, Quincy said, win them games. The first 8-9 games, we gotta win them. Because we already know what the division game is gonna be. We got the prime times game with Denver. We need to win that one. I think we got the West Coast primetime game with Vegas, and then come back and, like you say, we don't really want to see the Giants and Pittsburgh in the late game on Monday night. But I mean, it is what it is. I hope we handle better.
On Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix has 2 games.
I'm about to say, I know the Christmas game on Netflix.
Yep.
But yeah, if we don't take care of business the first 8-9 weeks, we might as well just go ahead and hang it up, because we got to be 7-2.
6-3 at the worst. 6-3 at the worst.
8-1. Nah. I don't even want. Well, I mean, maybe, because I mean, we probably gonna at least win 3 or 4 out of the division games. I don't know who we gonna sweep. But somebody gonna get swept this year. Again, just put that out there. But yeah, like I said, Philly and KC, obviously I don't feel good about. But for the most part, I mean, I do like that we got the Christmas game this year. So I'm cool with that. That'll be something good to see.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully the score will be good to see too. But like I said, Atlanta, Denver, Chargers, Indy, Dallas, Vegas, Jets, Giants, Washington after the bye. Yo, we gotta handle business. And I think we'll have a little bit more stability this year just because we got better quarterback play. But who knows? We hopefully we can always wish for the best and prepare for the worst. So
I just want to know who trying to be out there at Christmas being like, make sure you turn on Netflix so we can watch the fucking game.
I gotta stream it.
I will watch it because it's the Ravens. The Ravens also play on Christmas Day, so I'll watch that game. I will say this, to be fair, at least they put the Ravens and Texans. That should be a fun game. And then they put the Chiefs against the Steelers. Steelers have that huge fan base.
Oh, that's a playoff rematch.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. No.
No.
They're gonna play for the Ravens. For the Ravens.
Yes.
Yeah, we lost to the Bills.
Yeah. For us, it is a playoff rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ace and Q, final words on the Steelers schedule release.
Yeah, man. That end of the season stretch is looking spooky. That's all I will say. I think the beginning helps them out, but like Q was saying, like they got to string together some wins early because they do not have any kind of breaks there at the end of the season from week 11 on. But I think if they can get out to a fast start, that's going to help them, and they're going to definitely have to, do some splits and stuff within the division. That 4 divisional games in a row is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen.
Hey man, imagine going through that gauntlet and you Najee Harris and Russ still the quarterback.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy, man. So I think that's the toughest schedule I've seen thus far. I haven't seen the Ravens yet, but I think that might be the toughest one.
Definitely the hardest stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, because ain't none of them games after the bye week besides Washington are forgiven. You can't take off any of them games, and you might as well rest pretty much all your starters until the bye week. And then let them come back, get warmed up to play Washington, and then you get ready for that hell. At the end, it's hell from Washington on.
Washington get neighbors. That's the Giants. They got neighbors.
They got Green Daniels.
They got Daniels here,
and they got Austin Eckler. I know they picked him up.
Well, even TJ Watt slow ass should be able to catch Austin Eckler.
Yo, that's how Patrick Queen fast ass gonna hit him. That's how about that.
Man, Patrick Queen might be too fast to see him. Like that's. They say you could time Austin Eckler's 40 times with a sundial.
Dang, that's crazy.
Okay.
Nice work.
So, let me put the next one, the Ravens final one.
Is this made by AWS?
Probably. It started like it was made by AWS here. I haven't watched it either, so.
Nice work. Somehow
you gonna go for it on 4th down in this video.
But now I've got a very important message that I need you to deliver.
Oh my God, Coach! I'm the first moment my whole life.
Now that you've secured the schedule, there's no time to waste. Go straight to the airport. Grab that flight. Here's the company card. Don't let me down.
Straight to the airport. No messing around. Coach depending on me. Nice.
Sonny, is that a chain?
That is it.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
Okay, everybody. 3 stuffed animals for everybody who thinks we're going to beat the Bengals. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beat the Bengals! Yeah!
Excuse me. Yes. Which one of these fish is the most delicious?
You're not going to be able to eat any fish.
I need to eat one of these fish, my friend.
That's not a thing.
I can afford it.
Yo! Everybody thinks the Ravens will win the Super Bowl. It's on me. Yeah! Let's get Ravens!
Y'all think we're going to beat the Eagles 100%?
Hey, Sonny, you think there's a chance he buys a wide receiver?
Me personally, I ain't never been more west than Frostburg, Maryland. But you know what? I might go this year. Then we're going to beat the Raiders. Ain't that right, boys? Yeah. Beat the Raiders. Oh, man, this is fun, but I got to get out of here.
Don't you have a beer?
The Ravens go 17-0. Yeah. Beer for you, brothers. Yeah. We're going to whoop the hey, Coach. Yeah, I'm on the tarmac. The flights keep getting delayed, but I'm almost there.
Are you wrong? That is a 10.
Oh, West Coast trip.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to California. Don't forget your sunglasses.
Where is he, Dad? Where's he at? Where is he? He ain't even here.
Hey, Coach Harbaugh, great to see you.
See, I've been looking all over for you, Coach.
Welcome to LA.
Thank you. I got a very important message from Super Bowl winner John Harbaugh.
No. My dad told me to never take anything with nickel.
Okay, fine. But listen, he said you better have 53 place settings at the dinner table when the Ravens come to play.
Duly noted. Tell him I said hello.
And he also said he's Mom's favorite.
Duly noted.
You're going down, Harbaugh.
Okay.
You know what? That Pittsburgh one wasn't that bad.
Hey, yo, that's how the people from Dundalk really talk. He talk just like you know.
Okay, so here's the schedule. Real quick. We get Thursday night, week 1. And
that was out of order too.
Yeah, the video was out of order. I did not like that. Okay, so then we get Raiders. So it's like 1-1. No, there's a stretch here, but
if your video was out of order, I'm sorry to inform you, you will not make the playoffs this year.
I did not like that. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like that. Okay, so we get Raiders, Cowboys, then we get the Bills and the Bengals and Commanders. So that's the first third. Not a bad balance in my opinion. Then we get. I forgot we were playing the South, each of us. So we get Baker on a Monday night. You want to hear another Monday night? There you go, Q.
Hey, do the Pookie Scoop, Mar.
So another bad Monday night in my opinion. But anyway, so we are away Monday night, short week to Cleveland. Then we play Sunday Broncos, and then Thursday night at home against the Bengals, and then away to the Steelers, away to the Chargers on a Monday night. Week 14 bye, so very late. So Steelers have the earliest bye, but week 9. Anyway, so we get the Eagles and bye, and then New York, Steelers, Christmas Day against the Texans, and we finish against the Brownies. It's balanced. It is balanced. I think it's a tough schedule. These obviously there's a really good test here up to week 5. Not that I'm trying to dismiss the Commanders, but you get the Chiefs, Raiders, man. But then Cowboys, decent team. Bills, good team. Bengals, good team. So good test early on. The middle part here, another good test with the Browns, Bengals, Steelers, Chargers. And then
sleep on the Bucks.
The what?
You sleeping on them Bucks?
I am sleeping on them. I'm not gonna lie. I am sleeping on them.
All right. Yeah, are you betting on Baker Mayfield to have 2 good years in a row? Let me tell you, the Browns went broke trying to.
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh man. Anyway, thoughts on the schedule.
Ask Odell Beckham if you want to bet on Baker Mayfield having 2 good years in a row. Like it's
the Eagles.
I think it's a solid schedule, and I feel like you guys play pretty much all of the good teams. I feel like in the AFC, which we have to see with the Bills, right? Because I don't know if I'm buying that the Bills are still going to be, a top 5 team in the AFC yet. So we'll see that when they play Baltimore. And then you're playing a good Cowboys team. I think they're pretty solid coming from that division. Then, of course, you got the Chiefs, Bengals.
We get the Texans. You guys don't get the Texans. We get the Texans.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you guys play almost every good contending team in the AFC. Obviously, you play everybody in the North, so we're all going to be contenders. And then you think about the teams outside of that, and it seems like you guys are pretty much playing them. So I think it's a tough schedule, but I think it's balanced. Like you do get some breaks there. I feel like that Giants game, that's going to be a crucial one for you guys to kind of come out of that bye and then get ready for the end of the stretch. Because I do think that those games are always tough, right? Divisional games, but I think it's a solid schedule. I think that you guys have some opportunities here and there to take advantage of it. I don't know how many, what the traveling looks like in terms of, it doesn't seem like too many. Are the purple ones away games?
No, those are home.
Those are home games?
Yeah, black are away, so we start away.
7 national TV games for the Ravens here.
Are they? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where's
the Kansas City Chiefs week 1.
Yeah.
Then it looks like Sunday Night Football for Buffalo. Then you have the Buccaneers Monday Night Football. You have Cincinnati, which looks like Sunday Night Football. Another Sunday Night Football game against the Chargers. And then 4:30, 12:21. Either that's a special day or it's not a national TV game.
No, the Christmas Day. That's the Netflix game.
That's the Netflix. Well, no, Christmas Day is Netflix 4:30. There's a Pittsburgh game 12:21.
Oh, I see. That's 4:30. Yeah, that's 4:30.
That's not a.
It might be one of them Saturday slots where they play 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
but it's kind of crazy. I don't know who the Texans play. That four game going away to the Texans.
They said the Bengals and the Ravens are playing Thursday night football. Somebody in the comments said that.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. It's balanced. I don't like that. Right, coming from a tough game because the Steelers games are going to be tough, and going 4 days later to Houston, which is going to be a good team. Yeah, that's definitely that's a shorter, right? You get Sunday, no, that's about the same. So yeah, that's a rough one. Oh, here it is. Hold on, I have it. It's here. 7 national. You're asking Q. There it is. You got Chiefs, Bills, Buccaneers. They're the Bengals, Chargers, Steelers, and then the Texans. So 7 national televised games, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of national televised games. I like to go. I want to see my one
of the earth now, so you don't have
that
to
is true.
Die at work the next day.
That is true. That is completely accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway, any final thoughts on the Ravens schedule?
Yeah, I think y'all kind of make out, man. Y'all get a couple games out early. First being the Chiefs. I think that after that you got the Bills and what you got the Bengals after that. Was that week 4 or 5?
Yeah.
We get first 5 weeks of this schedule though.
Yeah, so you kind of get them games out the week in the first 5 weeks. Then after that, I think you got a couple tough stretches. Week 10 to 13, you got a tough stretch between the Bengals, Pittsburgh. I'm not going to sleep on the Chargers because they made a lot of improvements so far. And then I think after that, you got Philly. And then your last 3 games is Pittsburgh, the Texans
and Browns.
Yeah. So, y'all finish out. Y'all got a couple stretches of where though y'all play them tough teams. But them first 5 weeks, if y'all can get them out the way, y'all be straight. Because the division game is going to be a toss up anyway.
So do you guys know that Giro is the OC of the Chargers? I don't know if we talk about their running back core. The running back core of the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, they got your boy now, right?
Gus Edwards is both of them. It's Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. They took both.
Giro is in that running back room, man.
Yeah, they went all in.
Hey man, that's y'all twin for real because y'all both don't got no wide receivers on the roster.
Hey, we have some.
Yeah,
we have more. We have better than them.
I don't know.
I think Herbert better get ready to hand the ball off. It ain't gonna be too much passing this season.
Hey, it's gonna be Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson talking at the end of the game, man. It's tough to do it by yourself, ain't it?
The Ravens are fine. We don't look, you guys. Well, we're gonna do. But by the way, guys, we have position rankings starting next week. Okay, so y'all make sure you hit that like. I know you guys always like the position ranking. I don't want to.
When we put the Bengals ahead of ahead of Baltimore, even though we don't even know if the Bengals going to retain their second best wide receiver. It's an easy clear.
But I'm not mad at that. But you can tell me right now that the Steelers wide receiving core is looking that much hotter than the Ravens.
In the NFL. I mean,
I feel like my receiving core. Again, I don't want to spoil my rankings, but
we're talking.
I feel like this might be the year that I'm not in the basement.
You're one of the worst cores in the league. That's not a spoiler.
I feel like I might not be in the basement for the wide receiver for the first time since we started this.
They're like a Cortland Sutton trade away from being miles better than Baltimore. Though.
Fair enough, but supposedly the Ravens are also in the current Sutton trade market. So,
you know y'all ain't gonna do that. Come on, Sonny, stop it! Stop it! Every year,
every year the hope.
You hype yourself. We gonna get this dude, and what they do? They signed Odell Beckham to $15 million and use him like 14 times.
They're gonna get another small guy. Just
better say hello to Randall Moore or some shit like that. Like
that's probably what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie.
I see 5'11" receivers. There's them turning around.
Dude,
Lamar Jackson gonna be trying to play quarterback with binoculars on and shit.
Anyway, so it's important for you guys to make sure you subscribe, hit the bell again.
Mm-hmm.
The ranking show will start this next coming week, and from that,
the Ravens wide receiver room sound like a Drake diss track. It's just nothing but short jokes.
I think our wide receiving core is way better than what you guys are putting it out. But we'll see.
They said y'all wide receiver core got their back against the curb.
Okay, I see. Yes, they're not tall. And that does get
they're mighty.
They're mighty. Hey,
y'all got
they're
the
feisty.
scrappy new wide receivers.
They're feisty. We had tight ends too. We had good tight ends too.
Y'all got one.
We got two.
Y'all got one.
We got
one in the possible. One in the possible.
One in the possible. That's fine.
I've gone into games like, hey, you got to worry about Mark Andrews. I've never gone into a game like, well, if you can only contain Isaiah Likely.
Right, that's fair. That's fair. One in a possible. I think that's definitely fair.
Yeah, one in the possible. It's not bad. Not bad.
No, definitely not bad.
Y'all wide receivers need sensu beans. That's what y'all need to chomp on this offseason.
Well, anyway, we'll be ranking those positions, all these positions coming up, and then we'll finish. That will take us to the offseason and all the way to.
Damn.
We're gonna predict the teams' records and blah blah blah. And July usually we take off, but yeah, that's where we are. So make sure you sub, hit the bell so you know when we come live. We'll see y'all next week. Take it easy, my guys.